Hello and welcome back to SSBCrack exams. I am Anuradha, and in this particular session, I am here to give you a very good news, especially for the Indian Navy aspirants. In this particular session, I'll be covering a notification which has been out just now by the Indian Navy for the Short Service Commission Officer Entry for January 2023 course. So in this particular session, we will look into the detailed notification of the entry, and also we will look into certain eligibility criteria to take into consideration before applying through this particular entry. So first of all, let's check out the notification which has been out and which has been published by the Indian Navy for the Short Service Commission Officer Entry for January 2023 course. Now, the applications are invited through this notification for unmarried, eligible men and women candidates for the grant of Short Service Commission or SSC entry of the Indian Navy under Special Naval Orientation course commencing January 2023 onwards at Indian Naval Academy, Ezhimala, Kerala. We will also now look into the dates which are very important. So the online application for this particular SSC officer entry at Indian Naval Academy will open on www.joinindiannavy.gov.in from 25th of February to 12th March 2022. So please note down the important dates. The notification has been published and the registration has started from 25th of February and it will go until 12th of March 2022. So now we will also look into other important things, especially for the selected candidates. Now, where will you take the training, right? So the selected candidates will have to undergo the training with one of the following distinctive courses. First of all is the Extended Naval Orientation course for General Service Executive GSX or Hydrography branch. For Naval Orientation course NOC Regular, this will be for Naval Armament Inspectorate Cadre, Air Traffic Controller, Observer, Pilot, Logistics, Education, Technical Engineering and Electrical branches. Now, the question may arise, who can apply for this Indian Navy SSC Officer Jan 2023 course? There are two criteria. One, now if you are a graduated or a postgraduated candidate or in the final year with minimum 60% marks in aggregate or equivalent CGPA, you are eligible to apply for this entry. Also, the university for the above mentioned should be incorporated by an act of central or state legislature in India or other educational institutions established by an act of parliament or declared to be deemed as universities or autonomous universities under UGC Act 1956, IIT Act 1961, AICTE Act 1987, NIT SCR Act 2007 and IIIT Act 2014. So this is a very important criteria you need to look forward to. Or if you are a candidate who have obtained a degree in engineering with 60% marks in aggregate or equivalent CGPA or system from such foreign university, college or institution, you are also eligible to apply for this particular entry. Also, you should note that university, college or institution that you have obtained the engineering degree from should be recognized by the Government of India for the purpose or engineering degree or equivalent certificate from Association of Indian Universities established under AIU Act 1973. Right, so these are the two important criteria for those of you who want to apply for the Indian Navy SSC Officer entry for Jan 2023 course. Now, we will look into the number of vacancies. However, the number of vacancies are subjected to change, but the tentative number of vacancies have already been published by the Indian Navy. So, let's check out the different vacancies for the different cadres and branches for the Indian Navy SSC officer entry. So, we will first start with the executive branch. Now, we will not only check the vacancy here, we will also check who are eligible for this particular vacancy and also what should be your age limit. That is, we will check the date of births as well. So, for the first branch of executive branch is SSC General Service, GSX or Hydro Cadre. The vacancies for this particular cadre is 40, where 38 are selected for GSX and 2 are selected from Hydro Cadre. Only men candidates are eligible for this particular cadre. And your date of birth should be between 2nd January 1998 and 1st July 2003. Now, you could also be a merchant navy personnel having Ministry of Shipping and Transport Certificate of Competency foreign going, either as a second mate or master, and if you are so, then you are also eligible if your date of birth is between 2nd January 1993 and 1st July 2003, where both dates are inclusive. Coming to the next cadre of executive branches, SSC Naval Armament Inspectorate Cadre or NAIC. Now, the vacancy for this particular cadre is 6 and both men and women can apply for this, and you should be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st July 2003, where both dates are inclusive. For Air Traffic Controller or ATC, the vacancies are 6 and again men and women candidates can apply for this, and you should be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st January 2002. Moving on to the next cadre is SSC Observer. Vacancies for this is 8 and only men candidates can apply, and you should be born between 2nd January 1999 and 1st January 2004. Also, please note that if you are having a valid and current commercial pilot license issued by DGCA India, then your date of birth is relaxable and you can be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st January 2004, where both dates are inclusive. Now, for SSC Pilot Cadre, 15 vacancies are there for men candidates only, and your date of birth should be between 2nd January 1999 and 1st January 2004. Now, the candidates having the valid and current commercial pilot license is also applicable for SSC Pilot entry. For SSC Logistics entry, the vacancies are 18 and only men candidates can apply, and you should be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st July 2003, where both dates are inclusive. Moving on to the next important branch is Education branch. Now, in total, there are 17 vacancies which are allocated for this branch and which are divided upon educational qualification. So, when later I will be covering the educational qualification after some time in the session, I will also give you the educational qualification wise vacancy there. Now, both men and women can apply for Education branch, and you should be born between 2nd January 1996 and 1st January 2002, both dates inclusive, if you are an MTech candidate. And for other educational qualifications, you should have to be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st January 2002, both dates inclusive. Moving on to the next branch is Technical branch, and under it, for SSC Engineering branch General Service, your vacancies are 15. Only men candidates can apply, and you should be born between 2nd January 1998 and 1st July 2003, both dates inclusive. However, if you're a merchant navy personnel having Government of India Ministry of Shipping and Transport Certificate of Competency as first class engineer of a steamship by the government, then your age is also relaxable and your date of birth can be between 2nd January 1993 and 1st July 2003, both dates inclusive. For the next cadre of technical branches, SSC Electrical branch General Service, the vacancies are 30 for it. The men candidates only can apply for this, and your date of birth should be between 2nd January 1998 and 1st July 2003, both dates inclusive. Now that we have covered the number of vacancies for each and every branch along with the gender as well as the date of birth or the age criteria, we will now look into another important criteria for eligibility, and that is educational qualification. So, we will first start with the executive branch. Now, for the general service or the hydro cadre, you should have to be a BE or BTech in any discipline with minimum 60% marks. For Naval Armament Inspectorate cadre, you should be a BE BTech with minimum 60% marks in mechanical or mechanical with automation or electrical and electronics or microelectronics or instrumentation or electronics and communication or electronics and telecommunication or instrumentation and control or control engineering or production or industrial production or industrial engineering or applied electronics and instrumentation or electronics and instrumentation or information technology or computer science or computer engineering or computer application or metallurgy or metallurgical or chemical or material science or aerospace or aeronautical engineering. Or you could be a postgraduate degree holder in electronics or physics. However, the candidates should have 60% aggregate marks in class 10 and 12 and minimum 60% marks in English in class 10 or class 12. Coming to the next cadre is Air Traffic Controller. You should be a BE or BTech in any discipline with minimum 60% marks. However, the candidate should have a 60% aggregate marks in class 10 and 12 and minimum 60% marks in English in either class 10 or class 12. However, the air traffic controller educational qualification are same for observer and pilot cadres as well. Talking about the logistics cadre, you should have been a BE or BTech in any discipline with first class, or an MBA with first class, or a BSc, BCom, BSc IT with first class, along with PG diploma in finance or logistics or supply chain management or material management, or you could have been an MCA or MSc IT with first class. Moving to the next branch, which is education branch. Now here, as per the educational qualification, I will be also telling you about the vacancies, so please note it down very carefully. Now, if you are having a 60% marks in MSc, that is in MSc Maths or MSc Operational Research with Physics in BSc, the vacancies for this entry is 5. For 60% marks in MSc Physics or Applied Physics with Maths in BSc, the vacancies are 4. Now, if you are having a 60% marks in MTech from a recognized university or institute in any of the following disciplines like communication system engineering or control and instrumentation engineering or manufacturing or production engineering or metallurgical engineering or material science or mechanical system engineering or mechanical system design or mechanical design, now there are different vacancies. So for communication system engineering, there is 1 vacancy. For control and instrumentation engineering, there is 1 vacancy. For manufacturing or production engineering or metallurgical engineering or material science, there are 2 vacancies. And for mechanical system engineering or mechanical system design or mechanical design, there are 2 vacancies. Moving on to the next educational qualification, which is a BE or BTech with minimum 60% marks in electronics and communication or electrical and electronics or electronics and instrumentation or electronics and telecommunications or electrical, there is 1 vacancy. For BE or BTech with minimum 60% marks in mechanical engineering, there is only 1 vacancy. Now, there is another important thing to note down. Now, for the candidates who are going to apply for the education branch, should have a minimum 60% marks in class 10 and 12 and minimum 60% marks in English in class 10 or class 12. Moving to the next branch is technical branch, and for engineering branch general service, you should have a BE or BTech with minimum 60% marks in mechanical or mechanical with automation, marine, instrumentation, production, aeronautical, industrial engineering and management, control engineering, aerospace, automobiles, metallurgy, mechatronics, instrumentation and control. For electrical branch general service, you should have a BE or BTech with minimum 60% marks in electrical, electronics, electrical and electronics, electronics and communication, electronics and telecommunication, telecommunication, applied electronics and communication or AEC, instrumentation, electronics and instrumentation, instrumentation and control, applied electronics and instrumentation, power engineering, power electronics. So I hope that there has been a very long list of qualifications, educational as well as the different criteria which I have been telling, and I hope that you are matching your own criteria and suitably checking out if you are eligible for this particular entry. Now we will move on to a very important eligibility criteria for NCC candidates. If you are an NCC C certificate holder, this is a golden chance for you because you guys will be getting a good relaxation. So basically NCC C certificate holders will be given relaxation of 5% in the cutoff marks towards shortlisting for SSB, subject to meeting following criteria. So there are certain important grounds on which you will be given a 5% relaxation in the cutoff marks for the SSB shortlisting. First of all, you should have an NCC C certificate of Naval or Army or Air Wing with minimum B grade. Okay, or also you should not have served less than 2 academic years in the senior division of the Naval, Army or Air Wing of the NCC. Also, your C certificate should not be dated before 1st January 2020. Also, the final selection will be subjected to verification of the certificate that you have got by DG NCC or concerned NCC units for its validity. And lastly, the mandatory minimum educational qualification in qualifying degree at all stages, be it for SSB or training or post-commissioning, is 60%. So you have to match these following criteria if you're an NCC certificate holder, and you will get a 5% relaxation in the cutoff marks. Now, as this is a direct entry, that is, you don't have to sit for any written exam. On the other hand, you just have to apply and wait for the shortlisting. Therefore, it is very important that you prepare and start preparing for your SSB interview as soon as you have applied for this particular entry. And for that, we have just the course for you. So what you need to do is you have to go to our SSBCrack exams learning app, and that you have to download from the Google Play Store. And inside the app, you will find a very famous course. It's the best online course in the entire market, and that is SSB Interview online course. So inside this course, you will find everything related to the SSB interview starting from day 1 to day 5. So each and every material of the SSB interview have been covered in great detail with lectures and study materials and practice exercise sets. And not only that, if you are taking this particular course, you will also get an opportunity to interact with our top-notch recommended tutors who will take your regular interactive live classes on an online platform and will help you in practicing and preparing for your SSB interview. So it's a one of a golden chance, one of a million chance. Please don't miss it. Take this SSB interview online course as soon as you have applied for this particular Indian Navy SSC officer entry. So now we will look into the selection procedure, how it is, the candidates will be shortlisted for this entry. But before that, so there are certain important points to remember. So first of all, only one application need to be filled by the candidate. Make sure that you're not filling more than one application for this entry. Approximately 1200 candidates who have chosen SSC pilot entry will be considered for SSB or CPSS or aviation medical examination. Other candidates, the rest of the candidates will be considered for the other entries which are chosen by them. Also, the candidates must indicate their preference for other branches or cadres also if they wish to be considered for those branches or cadres. Candidates who will not be considered for the branches or cadres that they have not selected. So make sure also selecting if you want to consider for the other branches or cadres as well. The candidates are therefore advised to ascertain their eligibility for branches or cadres with respect to applicable medical standards prior to indicating your preference. Okay. Next important point is candidates will be allocated branches or cadres based on their merit and preference, subject to fulfilling other criteria such as education, medical standards, and so on. So make sure that you are checking out the eligibility criteria before choosing one branch or the other. No equivalent stream of BE, BTech or other qualification other than those mentioned will be considered valid for selection process at any stage, right? So only those subjects or those streams which are mentioned should be considered for your eligibility. Note any other stream will not be considered. Right, now we will move on to the most important part of this session, and that is shortlisting, the procedure for selection for this particular entry. So how will it start? As I've already just told you that there will be no written exam. So therefore the SSB shortlisting will take place just after you have submitted your application for this entry. So this shortlisting of application will be based on normalized marks obtained by the candidates in the qualifying degree. Okay, so the marks obtained by the candidate in the qualifying degree will be normalized using a formula which is mentioned in the Join Indian Navy website. So you can check out that formula in their Indian Navy official website, right? Now, for candidates who have completed or in final year of BE BTech, marks obtained up to the 5th semester will be considered for SSB shortlisting. For candidates who have completed their MSc, MCA, MBA or MTech, marks obtained in all these semesters will be considered. However, those candidates who are in their final year, shortlisting will be based on their pre-final year performance. Another thing is that candidates who are selected in the final merit list will be required to submit the proof of completing the qualifying degree with minimum 60% marks, and for that you have to send an email at the address officer@navy.gov.in. However, candidates who will not be able to send the proof of completing the qualifying degree to this particular mail ID will fail to meet the criteria and therefore will not be permitted to join the academy. Okay. Another important thing to consider is the shortlisted candidates will be informed about their selection for the SSB interview through the email or the SMS which will be provided by you in the application form, and therefore it is very important, guys, that do not change your email ID or mobile number which you have used in the application procedure till the selection process is over, because if you change this, if you change your email ID or your phone number, and then obviously any news regarding the shortlisting of the SSB interview will not reach you. So make sure not changing the email ID or the mobile number. Wait till the selection process is over. Now, what will happen after SSB interview? Obviously, once you have been recommended in the SSB interview, you will be sent for the medical examination. So the SSB recommended candidates are required to undergo medical examination as applicable to their entry. After that, a merit list will be prepared. So a combined merit list would be prepared based on the SSB marks for all entries as per availability of vacancies for their respective entry. Candidates who are declared fit in medical exam would be appointed as per availability of vacancies in the entry. Now we will talk about the tenure of commission also. So the selected candidates will be then called for training, and they will be granted short service commission initially for the 10 years, after which can be extended up to a maximum of 4 years in 2 terms. So in each term, 2 years will be added and it will be extended up to 4 years. Okay, after this completion of the initial 10 years. However, these are subject to service requirement, performance, medical eligibility and willingness of the candidates. Right, now we come to the training regime, which is very important, and that is when your training will begin. You will be inducted in the rank of sub-lieutenant. Okay, and the officers of the extended NOC for general service or executive and hydrocader will undergo a 44 weeks of training at INA, followed by professional training at naval ships and training establishments. For officers of regular NOC, that is for all branches, you will undergo 22 weeks naval orientation course. However, candidates who will fail to qualify the flying training as pilot or observers will not be retained in the service. Coming to the probation period, the usual probation period that will commence from the date of the grant of the rank of sub-lieutenant for the SSC NAIC officers is of 3 years. For other branches or cadre officers, it is for 2 years. So during probation, the officers are liable to be discharged in case of unsatisfactory performance at any stage. However, voluntary withdrawal from initial training or resignation during the probationary period will require a refund of the cost of training in whole or in part. Now that you have understood about the all eligibility criteria, the different important things to consider like the training period, the probation period, the tenure of the commission and all the important things to consider before applying for this particular entry, now the time has come for you to know how to start applying for this particular entry. First of all, you need to consider that the application should be made only in online mode and they are accepted only through the online platform. Okay, so online application needs to be submitted, and to do so you need to click on the online application button by going on the official website of the Indian Navy, which is www.joinindiannavy.gov.in. Also, please note down the important events to consider if you want to apply for this particular entry, and that is the Indian Navy SSC ST23 course application start date is 25th February 2022. So, the notification has been published officially by the Indian Navy for this entry and the application process has also begun. However, the last date for this particular entry is 12th March 2022. So, make sure that if you really want to apply for this entry, you are doing it within these important dates, that is between 25th February and 12th March 2022. Okay. And obviously, after you have finished your application procedure for this entry, it will be high time for you to start your SSB interview preparation as well, right? And for that, as I've already mentioned before, please get yourself enrolled into our SSB interview online course, which you will get only through our SSBCrack exams learning app. Inside this course, you will find all the important things covered in detail from day 1 of the SSB interview to day 5. Every important materials are provided to you for your practice, and not only that, you will also get a chance to be a part of our interactive live classes which take place regularly and in monthly batches, and where the top-notch recommended tutors help you to prepare for the SSB interview and will also help you to solve all your queries as well as any doubts. So please check out the SSB Interview online course. Get yourself enrolled as soon as possible. Also, if you're preparing for any other defense related examination, please make sure to check out the other courses that we have prepared for you and that are available through our app. Last but not the least, do not forget to use the code Warrior10 while getting yourself enrolled to any of the courses to get an extra 10% off on all of them. So this important session, I hope you have enjoyed and that it had been helpful to you. For other related information regarding this particular entry, you can check out our blog and also the official notification which we have published for the Indian Navy SSC Officer Entry Jan 2023 course. So I will bid you all adieu and wish you all the best for your upcoming officer entry notification application which you will start, I hope, and obviously I will see you all in the SSB Interview online course preparation. Till then everyone, stay tuned to SSB Crack exam, stay positive, stay motivated. Jai Hind.